no ifs, no buts, no exception. Kahit na sino pa yung pag nag-positive, tanggal. Bakit pa suspend sa rehab? Tanggalin na lang.
Senator, what happens if hindi pa po magpakita ulit yung ilan sa mga...
We will issue a warrant of arrest against those people who defies the order of the Senate.
Gawa na kayo ng gawa ng project, DPWH. DBM, bigay naman kayo ng bigay ng pundo. Pero yung opisina na mayroong pananagutan na pag nai-integrate, i-connecta lahat ng inyong ginagawang flood control. Natutulog pala, hindi pala nyo kinukonsultan, hindi pala kayo magkakakilala.
Ayan na nga, mga kaibigan, no? Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Matindi po itong talakayan natin ngayon kasi po, unahin muna natin itong si Senator Raffy Tulfo, nagpa-drug test na itong si Senator Raffy at ang kanyang mga staff rin hindi po nakalusot, pina-drug test po lahat. Okay? Yan po ang panawagan ng ilan ng mga taong bayan na ipa-drug test na ito mga government officials, especially nung may naamoy sila dyan sa Senado na Mary Jane, may gumagamit ng Mary Jane. Ayan ha, pinangunahan na ni Senator Raffy Tulfo ang nagpa-drug test. Now, ngayon, ang ating presidente na si Bongbong Marcos, hoy, BBM, ano na? Di ka magpa-drug test? Pa-drug test na! Ayan o, mga kapwa senador nga nagpa-drug test, ikaw pa kayang presidente ka? Di ba? Ang taong bayan po nananawagan sa mga government officials na magpa-drug test. Okay? Mamaya i-explain ko yan bakit relevant yan at importante yung magpa-drug test. Okay? Pangalawa natin pag-usapan, ito si Jinggoy Estrada. Grabe, nagbanta na dito sa mga contractors. Kung hindi kayo sisipot, malalagot kayong mga contractors kayo. Yan ang sabi ni Senator Jinggoy ha. Kasi kahapon sa kanilang hearing, maraming mga contractors na hindi sumipot doon sa Senado. Okay? Pag-usapan natin yan mamaya. At heto, panoorin natin itong si Senator Marcoleta, ang itong idol natin, na hindi po nasayang ang ating boto dito kay Senator Marcoleta. Nanlumo ang sekretary ng itong head ng DPWH sa mga tanong ni Marcoleta. Marami pala kayong mandato dyan na pwede nyong i-inspeksyon itong mga flood control projects na palpak pero wala kayong ginawa. Ito ha. Ibubulgar ni Marcoleta dito sa video na ito ni Senator Marcoleta ang mga palpak na trabaho ng ating mga government officials. Okay? So, yun po ang ating topic na ngayon. So, mainit na mainit ito. Pero bago ang lahat, help me po muna na i-like at saka i-share itong video na ito para guys, kakalat ito sa taong bayan. Okay? Sabay-sabay muna tayong mag-like and share sa Donmar TV. Itong video na ito, like and share. 1, 2, 3, go! Okay, naka-like and share na ba lahat? And also guys, sa mga bago pa lang dito sa aking channel, mag-subscribe na po kayo para lagi kayong updated sa ating mga balita. And at the same time, yung mga cellphone ninyo, ma-notify yan kung meron tayong breaking news, bagong uploads, o kung nagla-live ang ating channel. Ma-notify kayo lahat dyan. Kaya mahalaga po na mag-subscribe tayo sa Donmar TV. 1, 2, 3, go! Ayan, nakasubscribe na ba lahat? Okay, unahin muna natin itong kay Senator Raffy Tulfo. Okay, Senator Raffy, pasok! Play na video, play.
Nagpa-drug test na rin si Senator Raffy Tulfo at kanyang staff sa gitna ng issue ng paggamit umano ng marijuana sa Senado. Wala raw po ang sa kanyang staff ang sino mang magpo-positibo kaya sisiguraduhin niya na sibak kaagad kung mayroon man. Gate pa ni Tulfo, dapat nga raw kahit kumakandidato pa lang, magpa-drug test na. Matatanda ang nagpa-test na rin si Senator Mig Zubiri pati ang kanyang staff kahapon. Samantala, handa naman daw ang pamunuan ng Senado na magpatupad ng mandatory random drug testing. Kasunod ito ng sulat ni Senate Minority Leader Tito Soto kay Senate President Cheese Escudero. Nag-ugat ang lahat ng ito sa bali-balitang may nahuli raw na nagmariwana sa banyo dyan sa loob ng Senado.
Siba. No ifs, no buts, no exception. Kahit na sino pa yung pag nag-positive, tanggal. Bakit pa suspend the rehab? Tanggalin na lang.
Correct.
O ngayon, pag nagpa-rehab siya on her or his own, and then magaling na siya, di pwede kong tanggapin ulit. Walang suspension, tanggal agad.
Mga kapatid,
so yun po ang
sa mabilis sa
kay Senator Raffy Tulfo. Kasi po, may natuklasan ang mga taga-Senado na may gumagamit ng Mary Jane dyan sa Senado. So, to be sure, sinigurado na ni Senator Raffy Tulfo na malinis ang kanyang opisina. Kasi kada senador dyan, meron namang kanya-kanyang mga secretaries at mga staff rin yan, di ba? O, para sigurado na hindi yun mga tauhan ni Senator Raffy Tulfo, inunahan niya na. Nagpa-drug test na siya. At ang kanyang mga staff doon. Okay? Sabi ni Senator Raffy Tulfo, kapag may natutuklasan siyang positive sa kanyang mga tauhan dyan sa Senado, tatanggalin niya kaagad. Okay? That's a good move ni Senator Raffy Tulfo. Ipinakita lang niya na he is serious about this drug problem natin. Diba? Nakakahiya po. Senado yan. Yang Senado na yan, Senate of the Philippines, binabayaran kayo ng taong bayan. Mga senador dyan, mga lahat na nagtatrabaho dyan sa Senado, to the small employee, to the Senate President, kayong lahat dyan, binabayaran kayo ng tax ng taong bayan. Nakakahiya naman siguro na merong nagtatrabaho dyan na gumagamit para ng Mary Jane. Diba? So, tama itong sinabi. Pinatunayan ni Senator Raffy Tulfo na siya po ay, anong tawag dyan? Maaasahan siya ng taong bayan na matino ang kanyang utak. Ang tanong, ang ating presidente, nagpa-drug test ba nung nananawagan ang taong bayan na magpa-drug test siya? O bakit ba? Sasabihin nyo, Don Mar, bakit naman magpa-drug test si BBM? Presidente siya. Alam nyo mga kaibigan, importante po na magpa-drug test ang isang government officials. We have the right to demand because hinalal natin sila. At tayo ang nagpapasweldo sa kanila. Tax natin. Now, kung meron tayong example, kung meron tayong government official na gumagamit pala ng polvoron o Mary Jane, makakaasa pa kaya tayo na ang kanyang utak ay matino? Because it will involve, magdedepekto na po ang utak sa kanyang mga decision making at yan po ay nakakatakot kapag meron tayong leader na ganyan. So, Bongbong Marcos cannot blame kung ang panawagan ng taong bayan ay magpa-drug test siya. Kasi na-issue siya, di ba? Para mapatunayan niya na malinis siya at mapagkakatiwalaan siya ng taong bayan, tularan mo si Senator Raffy Tulfo. Kayong mga senador dyan sa Senado, magpa-drug test na kayong lahat. Kasi po, kung Kongreso, yung House of Representatives, mahirap dyan. Hindi yan susunod sa sa taong bayan na magpa-drug test. Mga tigas ng ulo yung mga taga House of Representatives Pati itong executive natin si Bongbong Marcos, ilang beses na siyang hinamon. Hindi yan magpa-drug test. Kayong mga taga-Senado, magpa-drug test kayong lahat. Ipakita nyo sa taong bayan na kayo, meron pa tayong branch of government o isang institusyon ng gobyerno na matino. Kasi ako, naniniwala ko, itong mga senador natin, mga malilinis ito In that case, kapag magpa-drug test na lahat ng mga Senado, mahihiya naman itong si Bongbong Marcos kung hindi siya magpa-drug test, di ba? O, kapag magpa-drug test na si Bongbong Marcos, susunod na itong House of Representatives, si Tambaluslos. Okay? So kayo, be a good role model kayo dyan, mga senador. Magpa-drug test kayo, gayahin nyo si Senator Raffy Tulfo. Heto, punta na tayo dito sa next video natin. Panoorin natin po itong interview ni Senator Jinggoy na nagbanta dito sa mga contractors kung hindi sila sisipot. O heto, panoorin natin. Pasok, Jinggoy.
Blue Ribbon Committee's first hearing into the issue. But the search for the truth hits a wall as the general manager of the contractor involved, along with several others, snubbed the investigation. Let's get on point with Senate Pro Tempore Jinggoy Estrada, who joins us via Zoom. Senator, good to have you. Thank you so much for your time.
Good evening, Pinky, and good evening to all televiewers. Good evening.
Sir, first of all, how would you assess today's hearing?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, it was a very successful hearing, and we extracted a lot of answers from the questions of a majority of the senators.
7 out of the 15 contractors, sir, or representatives were present. 7 out of the 15, ano? So there are 8 that did not show up, and I understand a subpoena will be issued. Senator, has the subpoena been issued doon po sa 8 hindi nagpakita today?
Yes, we requested that a subpoena be issued to those contractors who did not attend in today's hearing.
And one company that had no representation today was that Wawa Builders, who
I
was...
think Wawa was not there, and Alpha and Omega General Contractor and Development Corporation, which is owned by Sara Diskaya. Who else? I don't know the rest.
There were about 8, no, Senator. So yung isa doon, I just want to go to this one, is yung Wawa Builders, supposed to be owned by a certain Mark Alan Arevalo. The reason I'm mentioning this, sir, kasi special mention po siya sa inyo kanina during the hearing, because you were saying that your office supposedly received reports of ghost projects in Malolos, Kalumpit, and Hagonoy in Bulacan.
Hagonoy and Malolos.
Opo, yun po yung sinabi nyo kanina kay Secretary Bonoan. So tell us, what kind of information did your office receive regarding the supposed ghost projects sa Bulacan, sir?
Well, as a senator, I have a lot of friends and contacts from the Department of Public Works and Highways, and they divulged everything to me. Not really everything, but this piece of information that I gathered came from people from the DPWH. So when I asked Secretary Bonoan about these ghost projects that in Malolos, Kalumpit, and Hagonoy, and he admitted that there was indeed ghost projects in those 3 municipalities. And when I asked him how much amount was given to the Wawa Builders, ang sabi niya, it's 9 billion nationwide. When I asked him how much was allotted in the province of Bulacan, he said 5 billion, or more or less 5 billion pesos in ghost projects, and that is untenable.
Sorry, Senator, there was a part na medyo nawala po kayo. Pakiulit po yung numbers dun sa ghost projects, sir.
Ang sabi ni Secretary Bonoan, when I asked him how much was allotted to Wawa Builders, ang sabi po ni Secretary Bonoan sa akin, ang sagot po niya sa akin is more or less 9 billion pesos nationwide. When I asked him how much was allotted to the province of Bulacan, ang sabi niya sa akin 5 billion pesos worth of project. So ibig sabihin yan, yung 5 billion na pera ng taong bayan, nawala kaagad yun dahil sa ghost projects.
Nawala na parang bulak.
Builders nito sa lalawigan ng Bulacan.
Bakit ho, what were they telling you, yung inyong mga kaibigan or sources sa DPWH? Why in particular this Wawaw, sir?
I don't know. They just gave me this information. And in fact, when I asked Secretary Bonoan, he readily admitted that there were indeed some ghost projects. That is happening. Currently happening in the province of Bulacan. And nakita mo na Bulacan, isa yan sa mga flood-prone provinces nationwide.
Right, right.
Kahit umuulan, bumabagyo, kita mo naman, baha lagi sa lalawigan ng Bulacan. Not only in Bulacan, even in the province of Pampanga and nearby provinces.
Opo. Actually, a look at the top provinces, Senator, that are most flood-prone. Number 6 po ang Bulacan. Yesterday, I had the governor actually and we discussed this. So, balikan ko lang po. Doon po sa report namin kanina sa Kalumpit, Hagonoy, and Malolos, there were supposed to be 85 projects of Wawaw Builders from 2022 until 2025, which totals about 5.97 or almost 6 billion pesos. Would you have an idea, Senator, how much yung inilaan or supposed to be inilagay for these supposed ghost projects? Hindi na supposed kasi inamin na po pala ni Secretary Bonoan para po dito sa mga ghost
I didn't
projects.
get your last statement, Pinky. I didn't get your last statement.
Alam niyo ho ba, was there a number by which the Secretary said na ito pong pera ay binigay in award sa Wawaw na naging ghost projects? Was there a figure that was given to you today?
There was no figure that was given to me.
All right. I think also he said, no. Sorry, sir, go ahead.
Excuse me? You're coming in choppy, Pinky.
Opo. Sorry about that, Senator. Pag nagkakasabay ho tayo, nawawala po yung audio ko or audio niyo. So, sorry about that. Okay, sorry. So, as I was saying, Secretary Bonoan, at some point when you were asking this, when you were asking for figures, you even at one point sabi, I will wait, tell me the figures. Kasi he had to confer with some members of the DPWH. It's really as if you wanted to get the numbers told in today's hearing regarding Wawaw.
You know, because once you go to the Senate, they have to be prepared. All the questions of the senators. Why should they go to a public hearing unprepared? They should go there prepared and bring all the documents that are needed. And don't tell me that they did not bring the documents, because I will cite them in contempt.
Senator, didn't he say that, I'm not sure if he said this during your interpellation or your questioning, your questioning, did he say that they are looking at this and you can, they will give you more information about these ghost projects in 1 week's time?
Yes, he said that the investigation will commence maybe in 1 week's time.
You know, yesterday, sir, kausap ko nga po si Governor ng Bulacan. I looked into ito pong sa Kalumpit, isa dun sa sinasabi nyo ngang may ghost projects. Kasi napakadami po pag tingnan yung website yung isumbong sa Pangulo. Medyo, it's too much to digest. There were 4 projects in Kalumpit supposed to be from Wawaw Builders from 2022 to 2025. 4 lang po sa Kalumpit. They were almost identical in cost. This is something I wanted to bring up with you. It came out to about, yung 4 po 77,197,000, 77,199,000 plus, 77,199,000 plus, and another 77 million. Yan po, I don't know if you're seeing it on screen, sir.
Yes, that's it. Buti pa ikaw, may kopya, ako wala eh.
Hindi, sir. It's in the Sumbong sa Pangulo website.
For me, that is quite suspicious. Bakit hinati-hati nila na sa iisang contractor lang yan? Lahat yan Bulacan. Nakita ko Bulacan. And iisa lang ang munisipyo, Kalumpit lang.
Grabe yung corruption.
Para identical yung presyo.
And the cost, sure. Yes.
Bank, protection structure, tapos construction of flood mitigation, parehong 77,197,298 pesos 97 centavos. Those figures are identical.
Yeah.
And that, for me, that is quite suspicious.
Yeah. That's something I wanted to share with you because you were talking about Wawaw nga. And when I looked at this particular Kalumpit flood control projects, yan po yung lumalabas. Yung mga 77,197,000, 77,199,000, etc. So, also, that's what I wanted to find out from you. Bakit ho kaya ganito yung mga presyo? Nag-iba lang
Well, I
doon
really
sa...
do not have any idea. Maybe the proper person to ask are the officials of the DPWH.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, sir, pati yung tinatanong ko nga yung mga kasamahan ko, meron pang 0.97, 0.76. Yung 77,199,999.65. Ano ko kaya yung mga centavos dyan? Would that be taxes, VAT? I mean,
No.
it's mind-boggling.
Yes.
Parang gawa-gawa lang nila ba?
One more thing, it is not only Wawaw Builders who is involved in this ghost project. Ang kasama pa dito, SYMS Construction Company.
Sana naman makulong
Okay.
yung
Bali,
mga tao na yan.
It is not only Wawaw Builders, kasama yung SYMS Construction Company.
Sa pagkaalam mo, Senator, dalawa na po yung kumpanya na involved sa ghost projects.
Yes, that is the information that I received.
Was SYMS also in Bulacan? I failed to check this.
Yes, I think they have awarded some contracts from the DPWH with regard to the flood control projects also in Bulacan.
And following up on that, sir, kasi pag tinignan po yung isumbong sa Pangulo na website, makikita po 2022 to 2025. Is it incumbent, sir, do you think, na hindi lang po yun ang tingnan, kundi tingnan din po yung mga taon before that?
Yes, I think it is incumbent with the Secretary of DPWH to look into all those contracts starting President Marcos's term. And when Secretary Bonoan assumed office as the Secretary of DPWH, baka alam mo, hindi natin alam, baka ng 2022, 2023, 2024, meron mga ganong klaseng ghost projects. And I believe, personally, I believe that there are really ghost projects, not even before 2022.
What do you mean, sir? Can you repeat that? Not even, you believe there are ghost projects even before 2022?
I believe so.
Okay, so if that is so, ang DPWH Secretary noon, before tumakbo po siya, ay yung kasama niyo po sa Senado, si Senator Mark Villar, hindi ho ba?
Yes, yes, I know. Yun paniwala ko lang.
Oo. Yeah. In fact, it's good you point that out, sir. Kasi right now, ang nakikita pa lang natin 2022 to 2025. Pagka pumunta kayo doon sa earlier years, doon po papasok yung time during the Duterte administration under your colleague, Senator Mark Villar. All right. So,
alam mo, Pinky, minsan hindi nalalaman ng sekretary yan eh. No? Yung mga nasa taas eh. Ang mga gumagawa ng pera, yung mga nasa baba. Yung mga regional director, district engineer, baka hindi na pinapaalam doon sa nakakataas. Yun ang naging sistema.
that's why meron pong mga lumabas na mga pangalan kanina, especially in Bulacan, regarding the first district engineer sa probinsya, a certain Henry Alcantara, sir. Lumabas po yung pangalan niya at Norberto Santos, yung pong nakatoka sa inspection ng quality control ng mga proyekto.
Yes, I was the one who moved that this Mr. Norberto Santos, who's in charge of the monitoring, be invited in the next hearing.
Yeah. Could you kindly explain to us, Senator, paano ho ba sa inyong, siguro, how we can easily understand paano nangyayari ang corruption? Kayo na po nagsabi kanina, not necessarily nasa taas yan. Pwedeng nag-uumpisa ho yan talaga sa baba. How does it happen, sir?
I don't know, kung di nila ipapaalam sa taas, di sila kumikita.
Pero ibig ko sabihin, from the time that the budget, it is part of the budget, sir.
One more thing, alam mo minsan maraming mga kasabot dyan. Yung DE, District Engineer, Regional Director, pati COA kasabot dyan.
District Engineer, COA.
Kung papayagan ng COA yan kung wala sila natatanggap.
Pati COA,
Alam mo, I've been mayor for 9 years.
kasabwat.
Alam ko yan.
Pag mayor ho ba, katulad po ninyo na nagsilbi ng 9 years, do you have the responsibility or the power to oversee the projects being implemented by the DPWH?
Sa liit lang ng San Juan, kayang-kaya ko ikutin ito ng ilang oras lang. So I inspect all the projects that are being implemented by the DPWH. And even locally funded projects coming from
yung mga senador
our
na
local
dumaan
government.
sa
Yeah.
mayor,
Pero yung
talagang
all of these,
alam nilang
when I was mayor of
kabalastugan.
San Juan.
Pero ang tanong ko po, ginawa niyo po yun, maliit po, inikot niyo po yan. Pero is that whose responsibility is it, Senator, to make sure that the projects are done properly?
Well, it's a local government. Of course, the command responsibility ng mayor yan. And of course, with the coordination of the municipal or the city engineer.
Sa national po.
Ang engineering's office will serve as the overseer of all the projects being implemented by the local government.
What about the national, sir? For example, Bulacan.
Pag meron, for example sa San Juan, pag meron project ang congressman namin na binababa yung pondo dito sa San Juan, syempre, ang mag-oversee niyan, yung engineering department namin.
All right, we're going to take a very short break. We'll continue our discussion with Senate President
Ayan.
Pro Tempore, Jinggoy Estrada. When we
Forward
return, stay tuned. This is on Pro Tem ng Bulacan. Governor, magda 9 years na kayo, bakit patuloy ang baha dyan sa Bulacan and ang daming perang inilalaan sa Bulacan? Basically, sir, he was saying that they don't really get to find out or they're not apprised, they're not updated on the projects of the DPWH doon po sa kanila sa Bulacan. Ang gusto ko pong malaman, ganun ho ba talaga ang pamamalakad, sir?
Well, it might be true na hindi rin alam ni Governor Daniel Fernando yan. Pwedeng hindi niya malalaman yun. Siguro umabot lang sa level ng local government, mga mayors lang.
And what about the congressmen? For example, may mga mayor siya or may congressman siya na mga kakampi. Don't they even tell him that...
Siguro yung mga kakampi niya mayor, siguro sinasabi kay governor na mayroong pondong binaba si congressman dito, si ganito dito sa bayan ko, at tungkol sa flood control project. Siguro. But hindi naman siguro trabaho ni Governor Daniel na mag-inspeksyon, na mag-monitor ng mga proyekto ng mga congressman nila.
I see. So, kanino pong trabaho yon na mag-monitor or at least to make sure na fulfill po yung proyekto? Would it be more the congressman?
Una yung monitoring committee ng DPWH.
Okay.
Pangalawa, kung may malasakit ng local government, siguro engineer's office ng local government concern.
Okay. What about the congressman, sir?
Dapat kung siya nagbaba ng pondo sa kanyang distrito, dapat alamin din niya kung talagang nagawa o napagawa yung kanyang proyekto para sa kanyang mga kababayan sa kanyang distrito.
So marami-rami din, Senator. Dapat yung monitoring team ng DPWH, dapat yung engineering team ng LGU, at sana yung congressman din na
Kasama na rin yung mayor.
and the mayor.
Kasi jurisdiction niya yan eh.
Sorry, sir, you were saying kasi jurisdiction niya yan. Okay.
Pati yung mayor, dapat kasama rin siya sa nag-oversee ng mga projects na nangyayari sa sarili niyang bayan.
And yung governor po ay medyo tanggal po dyan. Tama ho ba?
Ano? I can't understand.
And the governor, hindi ho siya, medyo tanggal po siya dito sa monitoring nito talaga. Because you were saying basically the DPWH, the mayor, the congressman, etc. But not the governor.
No, hindi. Sa lawak naman ng sakop ng governor, ilan ang bayan sa lalawigan ng Bulacan? O 24 ang bayan sa lalawigan ng Bulacan. Alam naman isa-isahin ni Governor Daniel Fernando lahat yung mga projects sa Bulacan. That is quite impossible for him to do.
All right. There was a suggestion na ang sinasabi ng ibang kasama nyo nga dyan sa Senado, sobrang yaman na daw nung ilang mga DPWH officials. Sir, do you believe that
Grabe
there should be a
corruption.
lifestyle check among the DPWH officials?
That was what Senator Erwin Tulfo was proposing during the committee hearing this morning. And I believe and I support if ever
Ginamit ng negosyo
if ever
ang,
there is a
ating
lifestyle check
DPWH.
against all these DPWH officials, I fully support it.
Meron din hong sinabi kanina naman si Senator Raffy Tulfo. Sabi niya, and I quote, not in the exact words, pero may Ryan Althea ang nagpakilala kay Mr. Gerald Pacanan sa isang proponent. Tapos now, yung Ryan daw is promoted at director daw ng main office. I'm not sure if you heard that, sir. And do you know any of those names mentioned by the senator?
No, sorry, I
Okay.
do not know the names of those mentioned by Senator Raffy.
What can we expect in the next Senate hearing, sir?
Hopefully there's another hearing that will be conducted by the Blue Ribbon Committee. That is
Mga
headed by
contractors,
Senator Marcoleta.
makinig.
And I hope in this coming hearing, all the documents that we were asking from the DPWH will be presented to us before the committee.
Senator, what happens if hindi pa po magpakita ulit yung ilan sa mga...
To issue a warrant of arrest against those people who defies the order of the Senate.
Yan.
Pero wala pa pong schedule sa next hearing.
Excuse me?
Sorry, wala pa pong schedule sa susunod na hearing.
It depends on Senator Marcoleta.
So, yan po ha. Kayong mga contractors, kung merong announcement na si Senator Marcoleta, ay sisipot na kayo kasi nagbabanta ng mga Senado na susupinahan kayo at malalagot na kayo kung hindi kayo pupunta. Yan ha. Klarong-klaro yung sinabi ni Senator Jinggoy na grabe, malawakang korupsyon talaga, no? Mananagot lahat. Ang daming mananagot diyan, no? Mga sabi pa nga niya, mga taga DPWH, yung iba diyan, yumayaman na, di ba? Napapansin na nila. Pati nasashock ako ha, pati COA. Kasabwat ang COA. Merong ganyang mga senaryo na kasabwat pala ang COA. Ito, panoorin muna natin itong kay Marcoleta rin na hearing kahapon. At ito na, ang secretary, DPWH, ito, in-inspection at in-question na ni Marcoleta itong mga palpak na ginagawa nila. Ito, pa-play natin.
Mr. Secretary, as already said by some of my colleagues, they are, I think, worried about the existence or non-existence of a master plan. An integrated, comprehensive master plan that will finally solve the problem of flooding in this country. Do we have that?
Mr. Chairman, let me qualify. In the Philippines, we have recorded 18 major river basins. 18 major river basins. These are the rivers that would transcend not only in a locality but transcends provinces and regions for that matter.
We understand that,
We have
Mr.
18.
Secretary. We understand that.
We have 18, Mr. Chair.
Even if we have 100 river basins,
Yes.
until and unless you are able to present a master plan that will integrate
Yes.
these river basins, you will be going nowhere.
That's
You
correct.
will accept that.
I accept, Mr. Chairman.
Let me begin by asking you, in executing all these flood control projects, did you ever, either your district engineers or regional district offices ever coordinated with
The local government.
the River Basin Control Office?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Let me explain a little
No,
bit.
the answer
Yes.
is, the question is answerable by yes or no.
There is a different.
Have you ever coordinated with this obscure office called River Basin Control Office? I will explain to you why I'm asking this. It has a very, very significant relation to the subject matter of today's inquiry.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
This River Basin Control Office was created by Executive Order 510. Kung nabasa po ninyo ito, sa Section 2, Paragraph B nitong Executive Order na ito pala yung mandato nitong maliit na opisinang ito, which is attached to the DENR. Together with the Department of Public Works and Highways and the National Disaster Coordinating Council, develop a national master plan for flood control by integrating the various existing river basins and developing additional plan for components as needed. Isipin po natin, kaya sabi ko po sa inyo kanina, kahit 100 river basin ang babanggitin nyo sa amin, until and unless they are integrated with one another, which is the mandate of this office, walang mangyayari. Bakit po in the entire equation, in the entire continuum of this problem, bakit hindi man lang nagsasurface itong opisinang ito? Where is it? And why is it? Siya pala yung merong mandato. Ngayon lang natin nalaman. Hanggat hindi po kayo nagko-coordinate, hindi po kayo pala yung regulator eh. Meron pang isang executive order number 816. Sabi po niya rito, referring again to the River Basin Control Office. Whereas, sabi niya, the integration and harmonization of various government mandates and resources. Kasama na po kayong lahat dyan. In the provision of safe and clean water supply and effective flood control management for the entire country is emphasized in the medium-term development plan. Ang laki pala ng mandato nitong opisinang ito. Eh bakit po, Mr. Director General, did we invite the representative from this office? Kumbaga, yung palang susi ng lahat ng ito. Gawa na kayo ng gawa ng project, DPWH. DBM, bigay ng pundo. Pero yung opisina na mayroong pananagutan na nai-integrate, i-connecta lahat ng inyong ginagawang flood control. Natutulog pala, hindi pala nyo kinukonsultan, hindi pala kayo magkakakilala. So talaga pong walang mangyayari sa lahat ng project. Dito po, matibay na po ang kawalan po ninyo ng coordination dito. Bakit po nagaganon, Secretary? Why is it that we have already seen, as of today, there is no semblance of coordination with this office? Why?
Unfortunately, Your Honor, I think this is one of the challenges that we have to face.
I'm not about to ask you about the challenges. We have.
Yeah, the coordination actually.
We have challenges.
The coordination seems to be not really in the right one, Mr. I admit, Mr. Chairman, that we have not had any significant coordination at this point in time.
There was no coordination at all. We started from the wrong foot. Kaya po pala ganito ang nangyayari. In the next hearing, we would like to know from this office, bakit po sa kabila ng lahat na ito pala ang kanyang pinakamandato, hindi niya nakuwang i-coordinate sa DPWH, sa DBM, and all agencies na may kinalaman para solusyonan ang pagbaha sa bansang ito. Siya yung nawawala sa the entire question. Kasi po, Mr. Secretary, itatanong ko pa sa kanya sana kung nandito siya. How do you classify the rivers in this country? Meron tayong national rivers, meron po tayong municipal rivers. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor. We have 18 major river basins, as I initially pointed out. We have 403 principal rivers all over the country, and I think we have more than 4,000 small rivers, tributaries to the principal rivers. Not mentioning actually, of course, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Secretary, this is important because one by one, we will be able to look into the significance why we're supposed to see the difference between the national and the municipal rivers.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yung mga national rivers po, ito yung jurisdiction ng national office.
Yeah,
Am I correct?
correct, Mr. Chairman.
Yung municipal rivers, ano po ang, di ba LGU ito?
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
Ngayon, ito po yung pinanggagalingan ng katakot-takot na corruption. I will tell you, palagay ko, alam mo na rin naman ito. Kung minsan po, at pangkaraniwan, hindi lang minsan, pangmaramihan na to, para sa ganon, makakuha sila ng project. Kasi wala namang project ang LGU. Wala siyang pondo eh. Ang gagamitin po nila na project, sasabihin niya, tributary to a national river. Kasi pag ginamit mo na tributary siya sa national river, kinukonekta mo siya doon eh. Makakakuha siya ng pondo eh. Tama po o hindi?
Ako po, Mr. Chairman.
Yun pong, there are two kinds of flood control projects. One, those with feasibility studies. Tama po.
Tama po, Mr. Chairman.
And those without feasibility studies.
Tama rin po, Mr. Chairman.
Dito po sa may feasibility studies, Mr. Chair, Mr. Secretary, yung request for funding normally comes from the Unified Program Management Office, Flood Control Management Cluster, UPMO, FCMC. That's correct?
Correct, Mr. Chairman, yes.
The amount of the project is more than the jurisdiction of regional directors. Hence, public bidding is in the central office. That's correct.
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
Most of this funding are ODA funds, usually from the ADB.
From various lending institutions, Mr. Chairman, not only with ADB.
Yes.
Correct, Mr. Chairman.
Marami, but usually ADB din pinanggagalingan, di ba? UPMO is headed by Yusek Emil Sadain.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your presence. FCMC is now headed by
Director Ramon Ariola, Mr. Chairman.
the third.
The third, yes, sir.
Yung without feasibility study, Mr. Chair, paano po yung request for funding? How does it start?
It starts with, I can only explain, Mr. Chair, when it is included into our National Expenditure Program proposals. No? These projects would have undergone some prioritization at the provincial level, and then it has to be elevated to the regional development councils, and it will form actually the regional project proposals. From the regional project proposals, they will call out the priorities that will be equivalent to the allocated allocation for each engineering district or legislative district, Mr. Chair.
Yung source nito, Mr. Secretary, is the regular fund. Tama?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
As opposed to the projects with feasibility o the funds yun eh.
All the funds, Mr. Chair.
Ang basis ninyo sa request for funding is Department Order Number what? Department Order Number 23, Series of 2015. Am I correct?
You're correct, Mr. Chair.
Kasi po, Mr. Secretary, kaya po natin iniisa-isa ito para maintindihan nating lahat. Meron pong jurisdictional amount kasi.
Yes.
Yung district offices, district engineers offices, 100 million. Tama?
150 million level nila, Mr. Chair.
150.
150 million, Mr. Chair.
O yung regional district offices,
Above 150 to 400 million, Your Honor.
national offices above what?
No limit, Mr. Chair.
No limit. Pero lahat po ng ito, Mr. Secretary, either ito po ay prosecuted by District Engineer's Office with the threshold amount as you have stated, regional district offices with the threshold amount, and national offices with unlimited amount. Lahat po ng mga contractors nito are required to have the SLCC. Am I correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
SLCC is single largest contract completed,
That's correct, Your Honor.
which is based on the new government
Procurement.
procurement plan or law, RA 12009. Tama po.
Tama po, Your Honor.
Meron po kayong implementing office. Ito yung UPMO, FCMC. Pagkatapos sa ilalim po nito, meron kayong project director. At pagkatapos meron pang project managers, may project engineers.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Sigurado po ba kayo na lahat ng mga projects na na-execute merong SLCC?
Your Honor, these are foreign funded projects, and most of the engaged contractors dito are actually foreign contractors, Your Honor.
Alam ko po yun, kasi yung ODA, meron silang funding provision.
Yes, Mr. Honor.
The contractor follows the personality or the nationality of the funding country. Parang karaniwan ganun eh.
In bilateral agreements, Your Honor.
Yes. Pero sa mga projects, for example, ng ADB, dahil kung minsan wala nang gustong pumasok, in-invite nila yung mga international contractors.
That's correct.
Dito pumapasok ang joint venture eh. Tama po?
Tama, Your Honor.
Paano po natin namomonitor yung mga joint ventures na kasi para magkaroon lang siya ng SLCC, kung makikipag-joint venture siya sa isang, let's say, Chinese contractor. Pero hindi yung Chinese ang gagawa. Ang gagawa yung local. Nangyayari po ba ito?
Your Honor, especially itong mga foreign-assisted projects, ODA projects, they go through a very stringent process of selection po yung mga contractors po nito. And in the implementation of these projects po, meron din pong overseer consultants actually that will oversee the day-to-day implementation of these projects, Mr. Chair. So, if there would be subcontractors that would have to be engaged by the principal contractor, this will have to go through a process of evaluation and approval, Mr. Chair. We cannot actually accept. I mean, the bank and the funding banks or agencies will not agree, will not approve any subcontractor unless they go through the approval process, Mr. Chair.
Before I continue, Sir Secretary, let me just acknowledge the arrival of Senator Mig Subiri. Please.
So it's a very stringent process, Mr. Chair, for official development assistance or foreign funded projects actually in the engagement of the contractors, Mr. Chair.
Actually, Mr. Secretary, yung sinasabi mong strict guidelines, that's debatable kasi ito nangyayari ito, this is an open secret. Halimbawa, doon sa isang flood control project na meron ng feasibility study, may mga enterprising congressmen. They will request that these projects be implemented by the District Engineering Office. Sa mga nakaraan GIA natin, makikita mo yan. For example, the project is budgeted for 500 million to 1 billion pesos. It will be divided into several small projects, say 50 million to 100 million each. Kaya makikita mo, as observed by the President, bakit ay kakanyang pare-parehong 100 billion, 100 billion, 100... Para bang there are 2 or 3 or even 10 major projects, flood control projects na talagang ang para bang parehong-pareho yung cost eh. This is impossible. Kaya lang talagang binrake mo na dun sa ano eh. May break up na kasi. Kailangan talaga eh. Kaya pagpaparti-partihin na lang sa 100. Kasi ang ano dito, Secretary, alam mo naman ito eh. Para sa ganon, yung congressman, maibigyan nyo doon sa favored contractor. Magagawa natin ito. And we can prove this. This office will just ask, for example, from the Office of the Undersecretary for Planning and PPP Services, Yusek Cabral yata ito, sir.
Your Honor, yes.
Kapag na-request po ng Blue Ribbon Committee, sino-sino yung katakot-takot na mga congressmen na palagi na lang nagre-request ng funding sa nature. Dito po lalabas lahat ito eh. Makikita po namin. And I'm sure the office will cooperate with the Blue Ribbon Committee. Dito po makikita natin yung napakahilig mag-request ng funding. Tama po ako, hindi?
Tama po, Your Honor.
Okay. Yun pong bidding. Pero baka gusto na magtanong muna yung mga kasama ko po.
So, yun na po, yun no. Tinanong ni Marcoleta kasi ang dami pong mga proyekto na dumaan sa DPWH na pare-pareho lang yung gastusin, yung budget. 100 million. Yun nga, di ba? Sabi ni Pinky Webb, nagtataka rin si Pinky Webb, bakit 79 million, lahat 79 million. Nagka-diferensya lang sa 0.44, 0.45. Para naman yung halatang-halata na may anomalya talaga. Di ba? So, ayun ha, narinig nyo ang mag-comment, mag-react po kayo. Basta ako, ang reaction ko dito, obvious na obvious talaga. Okay? Itong secretary, ito si secretary sa DPWH, nakikita ko naman na parang siya rin mismo ay halos lahat ng mga argumento ni Senator Marcoleta ay agree naman siya. Okay? So, yun, ang mali lang dito talaga sa secretary is pinabayaan niya. Na sa tingin ko ay kung siya ay effective leader dyan sa DPWH ay hindi siya papayag sa mga korupsyon na mga nangyayari dyan, di ba? Ako, sa sarili kong paniniwala ito, hindi ako maniniwala na itong sekretary na itong si Bonoan, di ba? Si Bonoan ba yun? Sekretary Bonoan ba yung pangalan niya? Hindi ko maniniwala na hindi niya alam ang mga racket nitong mga congressman na ito at mga contractors. Hindi ako maniniwala. Sige kayo, mag-comment, mag-react kayo po sa comment section natin kung ano sa palagay nyo, anong opinion nyo dito? Halatang halata na ba? Or halata talaga? Okay, so usap-usap tayo sa comment section. No? Don't forget, i-like at saka i-share itong video natin para kakalat ito sa taong bayan at marami po ang makaalam sa mga ginagawang korupsyon ng mga ilan nating mga buhayang officials, okay? At sa mga ngayon lang nanood sa aking channel sa Donmar TV, subscribe na po kayo kasi libre lang ang mag-subscribe sa YouTube, no? Updated pa kayo. See you in my next video. Have a great day, have a great night. God bless po sa ating lahat. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas. And God really saved the Philippines. Bye.